Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and reaching for your phone. No notifications, no signal, no internet. At first, you assume it's a glitch, a router issue, maybe a temporary outage. But then you turn on the TV. Nothing loads. You check your computer. Offline. And slowly, quietly, a thought starts forming in millions of minds at the exact same time. This isn't just you. The internet is gone. Everywhere. And no one knows when it's coming back. What happens next doesn't look like chaos at first. It looks like confusion. And that confusion is exactly what makes the next 30 days so dangerous. Because the real breakdown doesn't start on day one. It starts when people realize how much of their life depended on something they never really noticed. And by the time we reach the end of this month, the world won't feel the same anymore. But let's start at the beginning. Day 0. The moment the internet goes dark. At first, most people don't panic. Outages happen all the time. Servers go down. Apps fail. Companies send apologies. Service gets restored. So people wait. Phones get refreshed again and again. Wi-Fi routers are restarted. People switch between data and wireless, hoping one of them works. It doesn't. Customer service lines are flooded, but they don't help much either. Most of them rely on online systems that aren't working anymore. By the end of the first hour, a strange quiet settles in. No scrolling. No notifications. No constant stream of updates. Some people actually feel relieved. But that feeling doesn't last. Because by the end of the first day, something uncomfortable becomes clear. The internet wasn't just entertainment. It was infrastructure. On day 1, offices struggle first. Remote workers are locked out instantly. Video meetings vanish. Cloud documents can't be accessed. Entire companies lose their internal systems overnight. Some businesses send employees home early, assuming this will be fixed tomorrow. Others can't even communicate that much. Emails don't go through. Messaging platforms are gone. Internal tools don't load. Work simply stops. Banks notice next. ATMs still work at first, but transactions slow down. Payment systems lag. Anything that requires real-time verification becomes unreliable. Credit card terminals hesitate. Some decline transactions for no clear reason. People start carrying cash again. By the end of day 1, grocery stores see longer lines. Not panic buying yet. Just uncertainty. People grab extra food. Extra water. Nothing dramatic. But underneath it all, a quiet question is forming. What if this doesn't come back tomorrow? Day 2 begins with the news. Or what's left of it. TV and radio stations go live using backup systems. They repeat the same limited information over and over. There's no official timeline. No clear explanation. Just statements saying technicians are working on it. That's when anxiety starts spreading. Without social media, rumors don't explode instantly. Instead, they move slowly. Through conversations. Through word of mouth. And oddly, that makes them feel more real. People show up to work only to be sent home again. Schools struggle to function without digital systems. Assignments, attendance, communication all disrupted. Teachers improvise. Administrators panic quietly. By day 2, delivery services are crippled. Packages can't be tracked. Orders can't be processed. Warehouses lose coordination. Trucks still move, but less efficiently. Errors stack up fast. Some deliveries never arrive at all. At home, boredom creeps in. Streaming is gone. Gaming servers are offline. Social feeds are silent. People rediscover old DVDs. Board games. Books. At first, it feels nostalgic. Then it feels isolating. Because there's no way to check what everyone else is experiencing. And that uncertainty makes everything heavier. By day 3, the economy starts to feel it. Stock markets are frozen. Not crashing, frozen. Without internet connectivity, trading systems can't operate normally. Financial institutions pause major activity. Investors can't check portfolios. Businesses can't adjust strategies. Everything is stuck. This is when people start to realize something uncomfortable. The internet wasn't just a tool layered on top of society. It was the nervous system. And right now, that system is unresponsive. Day 3 is also when trust starts to crack. Not in a dramatic way. In small ways. People question official updates. They wonder why no one seems to know what's happening. They ask neighbors instead of searching online. And those neighbors have different answers. Some believe it's a cyber attack. Others think it's a technical failure. A few whisper about something worse. None of them know. Day 4 brings frustration. Businesses that rely on real-time data begin shutting down temporarily. Smaller companies are hit hardest. Payroll systems stall. Invoices can't be processed. Payments are delayed. Workers worry about their next paycheck. Banks limit withdrawals as a precaution. That single phrase makes people nervous. Lines form outside branches. Still calm. Still orderly. But tense. Hospitals operate on backups. Emergency systems stay online locally, but communication between regions is limited. Doctors revert to paper records. Fax machines make a strange comeback. It works, but it's slower. Much slower. By day 5, something subtle changes. People stop asking when the internet will return. They start asking what happens if it doesn't. Businesses announce extended closures. Events are canceled. Travel becomes complicated. Airlines can't manage logistics effectively. Flights are delayed or grounded. People are stranded in places they didn't plan to stay. And now, boredom has turned into anxiety. Without constant distraction, people sit with their thoughts longer. Some feel calmer. Others feel deeply uneasy. Because they're starting to notice how quiet the world has become. No constant alerts. No viral moments. No endless updates. Just long stretches of not knowing. By day 6, supply chains begin to wobble. Not collapse, wobble. Inventory systems struggle without live tracking. Restocking slows. Some stores run out of specific items. Nothing dramatic yet. But people notice. And when people notice scarcity, behavior changes. This is the point where experts later say the real timeline splits. Because from here on out, everything depends on one question. Does the internet come back soon? Or are we about to find out what a truly offline world feels like? Because what starts happening on day 7 is where things stop being temporary and start becoming something else entirely. By day 7, something important changes. People stop treating the outage like a temporary problem. The phrase "when the internet comes back" quietly turns into "if the internet comes back." This is the moment where habits start breaking. On day 7, workplaces that were waiting things out make decisions. Some businesses officially close until further notice. Others reopen in limited, offline modes. Paper schedules return. Whiteboards replace dashboards. Managers walk the floor instead of sending messages. It feels strange but oddly human. At the same time, a different shift is happening at home. People start checking on neighbors more often. Not because they're scared, but because it's the only way to stay informed. Conversations replace feeds. Local knowledge replaces global awareness. And that changes how people think. By day 8, money starts behaving differently. Digital payments still work in some places, but not reliably. Banks tighten limits further. Cash becomes king again. People who never carried cash now guard it. Small businesses post handwritten signs. Cash only, exact change appreciated. Bartering makes a quiet return. Someone trades spare batteries for canned food. Someone else offers repair work in exchange for groceries. Nothing extreme. Just adjustments. On day 9, information becomes valuable. Not viral information. Local information. Who has power outages? Which stores restock? Which gas stations are still operating smoothly? People who talk to others regularly suddenly have an advantage. Isolation becomes a disadvantage. This is when loneliness hits hardest. Without messaging apps or social media, people lose contact with distant friends. Some try calling, but phone lines are overloaded or unreliable. Long-distance relationships strain. Families separated by distance feel cut off. The world feels smaller and heavier. By day 10, schools face a breaking point. Online systems are gone. Digital records are inaccessible. Some schools suspend classes entirely. Others go fully analog. Teachers improvise lessons with limited materials. Students adapt surprisingly well. But parents struggle. Without online work, some are home all day. Without school, kids are restless. Households feel crowded. Tension rises. On day 11, governments speak more carefully. Public announcements focus on stability and reassurance. They emphasize essential services are still running. And for the most part, that's true. Electricity still works. Water still flows. Emergency services still respond. But coordination is slower. Mistakes happen. And people notice those mistakes. That's when trust begins to erode. Not collapse. Just thin. By day 12, transportation is visibly affected. Traffic systems lose optimization. Shipping delays grow longer. Fuel distribution becomes uneven. Some regions have plenty. Others don't. This unevenness creates frustration. People don't panic, but they complain. And complaining spreads faster when there's nothing else to do. By day 13, entertainment has fully changed. Streaming is gone. Online gaming is gone. But creativity spikes. People play instruments. They write. They draw. Communities organize small events. Local music nights. Neighborhood dinners. Shared meals. It's not universal, but it's noticeable. At the same time, crime patterns shift. Cybercrime disappears overnight, but physical crime slowly rise in some areas. Not violent crime, opportunistic crime. Theft, scams, exploitation of confusion. Police adjust patrols. Community watch groups form. By day 14, the psychological weight sets in. This is the hardest part for many people. Not fear. Uncertainty. No one knows how long this will last. Days blur together without online markers. People sleep differently. They wake earlier or later. Time feels slower. Longer. Some people feel calmer than they have in years. Others feel deeply unsettled. Because without constant information, the mind fills in gaps. And those gaps are rarely optimistic. By the end of the second week, the world hasn't collapsed. But it has changed. The pace is slower. The systems are fragile. The future feels unclear. And now, a new question begins to surface. If the internet doesn't come back, what parts of the old world are gone for good? Because what happens in week 3 is when adaptation turns into transformation. And that's where things get truly unpredictable. By day 15, something unexpected happens. People stop counting days. Not completely, but the urgency fades. The outage is no longer an emergency. It's a condition. And when something becomes a condition, people adapt to it. Morning routines change. Instead of checking phones, people check windows. They check bulletin boards. They check on neighbors. Local notice boards appear in grocery stores and town centers. Handwritten updates replace digital ones. Some people post offers. Some post warnings. Some just leave messages. The world becomes smaller but more tangible. By day 16, leadership starts shifting. Not political leadership, local leadership. The people who organize things become important. Store owners, community volunteers, mechanics, teachers. Anyone who can solve practical problems gains influence. Online popularity no longer matters. Competence does. And that changes social dynamics fast. By day 17, work looks completely different. Some industries never come back. Digital marketing is gone. Influencer culture disappears overnight. Entire jobs tied purely to online platforms vanish. At the same time, hands-on work becomes valuable again. Repairs, maintenance, logistics, healthcare. People rethink what essential really means. By day 18, governments begin operating on a regional basis. Without fast global communication, coordination slows. Decisions become local. Some regions handle the outage better than others. This creates visible inequality. Not between rich and poor, but between prepared and unprepared. Communities with strong local networks stabilize faster. Those without struggle longer. By day 19, money evolves again. Cash still matters, but trust matters more. Informal credit systems appear. People keep mental tabs. You'll pay me back later. Reputation becomes currency. If you're known to be fair, people help you. If you're known to exploit, you're quietly excluded. Social consequences become immediate. By day 20, something else fades away. Outrage. Without constant headlines and viral stories, people argue less. They still disagree. But fewer people are angry all the time. The emotional temperature drops. Not because problems are solved, but because they're closer. Abstract anger is replaced by concrete concerns. By day 21, children adapt better than adults. They play differently. They invent games. They explore. For them, this isn't a loss. It's just a different normal. Adults, meanwhile, grieve quietly. They miss distant friends, convenience, joys, but they also notice something else. They feel more present. By day 22, long-term thinking returns. People stop asking, when will this end? They start asking, how do we live like this? Communities plan ahead. They organize shared resources. They schedule rotations. They prepare for uncertainty. And for the first time since the internet went dark, Life feels stable, not comfortable, not easy, but stable. And that stability raises a new, unsettling question. If the internet came back tomorrow, would everyone actually want things to go back the way they were? Because what happens in the final stretch of this month is where the world decides what it wants to keep and what it's ready to leave behind. By day 23, the world feels different. Not broken, not panicked, different. People move with more intention. They plan before acting. They speak face to face more often. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels normal. That's when an unexpected tension appears. The idea of the internet returning. On day 23, governments quietly prepare contingency announcements. Not promises, not timelines, just preparation. Because the truth is, bringing the internet back isn't a switch. Systems would need to sync. Data would need verification. Security would need to be rebuilt. And no one wants to bring it back wrong. By day 24, rumors spread that partial access might return soon. Some people feel relief. Others feel uneasy. They've adapted. They've rebuilt routines. And now they're being asked to imagine another shift. Businesses debate what to restore first. Communication tools, payments, entertainment. The choices matter. Because whatever comes back first will shape what the new normal becomes. By day 25, cracks appear between groups. Not violent ones, philosophical ones. Some people want everything restored immediately. Speed, convenience, connection. Others want limits. Local systems first. Slower integration. More safeguards. For the first time, society openly questions whether constant connection was ever neutral. By day 26, productivity quietly rises. Not digital productivity. Human productivity. People focus longer. They finish tasks. They rest better. Without constant interruption, attention stretches. Many realize how fragmented their thinking used to be. And that realization sticks. By day 27, preparations for reconnection accelerate. Engineers test isolated systems. Governments plan public guidance. Businesses draft messages for a world that hasn't checked email in nearly a month. But something strange happens. Excitement is muted. There's no countdown. No celebration. Just cautious anticipation. By day 28, people talk about boundaries. How much time online feels healthy. What tools they actually need. What they don't miss at all. Parents make quiet decisions about children's access. Workers rethink availability. Communities discuss preserving offline spaces. The outage didn't destroy the internet. It exposed it. By day 29, the question is no longer technical. It's cultural. If everything comes back, do we let it take over again? Or do we keep parts of this slower world? Because once something is seen, it can't be unseen. By day 30, the month ends. The internet may return tomorrow, or next week, or slowly in pieces. But regardless of when it comes back, one thing is already permanent. People now know they can live without it. Not comfortably, not perfectly, but intentionally. And that knowledge changes the balance of power forever. So here's the real question. When the world reconnects, will we rebuild the same digital lives we had before? Or will we finally choose what deserves our attention before something else chooses for us?